When you're 11 years old, the world feels impossibly big. But when you're lost in the Amazon rainforest, the world doesn't just feel big, it swallows you whole. My name is Harper Lynn Maddox, and the first time I saw the cat, it wasn't a dream. It wasn't a hallucination. It was the beginning of the strangest, most terrifying, and most beautiful day of my life. It started as a family trip. My mom had just gotten a new job that finally allowed her to travel after years of night shifts and double overtime. To celebrate, she booked a guided eco tour of Brazil, a jungle immersion meant to reconnect us. But if I'm honest, I didn't want to go. My parents had split 2 years earlier, and I still wasn't used to being alone with her. It felt like she was trying too hard, and I didn't know how to meet her in the middle. We flew into Manaus, then took a boat upriver to a small research station that offered day hikes with local guides. The jungle was nothing like I imagined. It buzzed and breathed like something alive. The trees were taller than buildings, draped in vines and fog. The air felt thick with secrets. On the second morning, we joined a group for a short nature walk. I remember how excited the guide was, pointing out exotic birds and rare insects. I remember how Mom tried to hold my hand and how I pulled away. And then I remember the sound. It wasn't loud, just a soft crackle in the underbrush. But it was enough to pull my attention off the path, enough to make me step away, just a few feet. I saw something move, bright orange fur, maybe a monkey. I stepped again, then again. And when I turned around, the path was gone. The trees all looked the same. The sounds grew louder, shrill insects, echoing birds, something distant and deep like a growl. My chest tightened. I called out, but my voice disappeared into the green. "Mom?" I whispered, then louder. "Mom?" Nothing. I spun in circles. I ran one way, then back the other. It didn't help. The more I moved, the more everything closed in. The sunlight above was fading behind heavy clouds, and my legs started to tremble. I had no compass, no phone, just a water bottle and a crumpled granola bar in my side pocket. That's when I began to cry. Not loud sobs, just silent, slow tears. I was trying to be brave, but I was 11, and I was alone, or so I thought. I didn't hear it approach. It just appeared, silently, like a ghost through the mist. A cat, not a house cat, bigger, sleek and golden, with a long, sweeping tail and black markings across its face, like war paint. Its eyes glowed, no, shimmered, like pools of amber. It stood just a few feet away, watching me, not crouching to pounce, not afraid, just watching. I held my breath. Every wild instinct in me screamed to run. But something about the cat stilled me. I couldn't look away. Then it turned and walked, not fast, not skittish, slow, deliberate steps, almost like it expected me to follow. I didn't move at first. But then it paused, looked back. Its eyes locked with mine. It waited, and something inside me whispered, "Go." So I did. I followed the cat because I didn't know what else to do, because standing still meant giving up, and because deep down I believed, somehow, someway, that it was leading me somewhere safe. The cat moved like it belonged to the forest. Its paws barely made a sound. It wove through vines and fallen logs like it had memorized every twist in the jungle floor. It didn't look back again. It didn't need to. I followed like I was tethered. At first, I tried to keep track of where we were going, but the forest twisted in circles. trees so thick with moss they looked like stone pillars, tangled roots that clawed from the earth like broken fingers. The light filtered through in slanted green shafts, but even those began to fade as the clouds darkened above, and still the cat moved forward. We crossed a shallow creek, just enough water to soak my shoes and chill my toes. I slipped once and scraped my palm, and the sting brought more tears. But the cat paused just ahead, sitting on its haunches as if waiting for me to get up. It didn't come close. It didn't comfort, but it stayed. And somehow, that was enough. Hours passed, maybe more. Time didn't feel real anymore. My stomach growled. I ate the granola bar in tiny pieces, rationing it like a soldier in a war I didn't understand. The cat never touched food, never hunted. It didn't even sniff the air, just kept moving, deeper and deeper, until the sounds of the jungle shifted. The buzz of insects grew louder. The birds went silent. That's when I heard the growl again, closer this time. A low, wet sound that echoed through the trees like a warning. I froze. My breath caught in my throat. Then I saw it. Not far behind us, half hidden in the vines, something was moving. Something massive. Brown fur, muscles that rippled like ropes under skin. It was a jaguar, a real one, and it was following us. My blood turned to ice. I looked to the cat. It had stopped too, but instead of running, the golden cat did something I'll never forget. It turned, locked eyes with the jaguar, and growled. Not loud, not aggressive, but firm, almost like a command. The jaguar paused. Its ears twitched, its body lowered. And then, impossibly, it backed away, not fast, not afraid, but like it had been dismissed. The forest was silent again. I stood there, shaking. The cat glanced back at me once, then resumed its pace as though nothing had happened. I followed. Of course I did. We walked for what felt like another hour. My legs were aching, my throat dry. I started to talk out loud just to fill the silence. "I'm sorry I didn't hold her hand," I said once. The cat didn't react. "I didn't mean to pull away. I don't know. I miss him. My dad. I miss when we were all together." Still, the cat said nothing. But somehow, I felt heard. Then it began to rain. Not a drizzle. A sudden roaring downpour that drenched the forest in seconds. The path became mud. My clothes clung to me like wet paper. Thunder cracked above, like the sky was splitting open. I tripped again, falling hard onto my side. This time, I didn't get up right away. I curled into myself, cold and tired and scared. I wanted to disappear into the dirt, and that's when I felt it. Not a hand, not a voice, but fur. The cat was beside me. For the first time, it had come close. So close, I could feel the warmth of its body against mine. It didn't purr, didn't lick my face, but it lay down beside me in the mud, just long enough for the shaking in my chest to slow. That was when I realized I hadn't just been following it. It had been walking with me. When the rain slowed, we moved again. Slower now. My steps were clumsy, and the jungle seemed thicker than before. But the fear that had once filled every breath was quieter now, replaced by something else. Hope. Eventually, the trees began to thin. We crested a small hill, and through the clearing, I saw it. A pale blue tarp stretched between two trees. A supply station. A guide outpost. A human place. My knees buckled with relief. I turned to find the cat, but it was gone. No footprints, no rustling, just the faint shimmer of light on wet leaves where it had stood. I stumbled toward the station, shouting as loud as my tired lungs allowed. A man appeared, wide-eyed and frantic, grabbing his radio. He spoke in Portuguese, waving his arms. More people arrived. Someone wrapped me in a blanket. Through the noise, I caught pieces of English. Found her. 12 hours. No one saw where she went. My mom arrived moments later, her face pale and streaked with tears. She held me so tightly I thought I might break. I didn't mind. They asked me how I survived, how I found the outpost. I told them the truth. A cat led me. They blinked, confused. Like a jaguar? One asked. No, I said. Not a jaguar. It was smaller, golden, like something between a house cat and a panther. One of the local guides froze. He asked me to describe it again. When I did, he said something to the others in a whisper. They all looked at me differently after that. Later, when things calmed down, he came to sit beside me. What you saw, he said slowly, sounds like the maracajá. I'd never heard the word. It's a rare wildcat, he explained. People say they're shy, almost never seen, but some believe they carry the spirits of guardians, forest protectors. I asked him if they were dangerous. He smiled. Only to the ones who don't listen. The jungle stayed with me. Long after we flew back to the US, long after the bruises faded and the scratches healed, it lingered. In dreams, in silence, in the way I looked at the world. Everything felt louder now, more alive, like I'd been touched by something sacred and wild. Back home, things changed, not dramatically. My mom still drank too much coffee. I still left my socks on the stairs, but something between us had softened. She held my hand more, and I let her. Once, I asked if she believed me, about the cat. She didn't answer right away. Then she smiled, that half smile she had when she didn't want to cry. I believe something protected you, she said. Sometimes I wonder if the maracajá was real at all. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe my brain, in panic, invented a guardian to keep me moving. But I don't believe that. Because I remember how it looked at me, how it led me, not like prey or problem, but like I mattered, like it knew. I tried to draw it once, the eyes, especially, but no pencil could capture that gold. It wasn't just color, it was presence. In the months that followed, I read everything I could about wildcats, ocelots, margays, maracajás. Most people still say they're rare. A few say they're extinct in some places. But in the heart of that forest, under thunder and rain, one walked beside me. I like to think she found me on purpose, that she had been waiting, not for a child to get lost, but for someone who needed to be found. Years later, I still go hiking sometimes. Smaller trails, closer to home, and sometimes, just for a second, when the wind shifts and the shadows move, I catch that flicker of gold between the trees. I smile, I breathe in deep, and I remember the cat that saved my life. Some bonds defy explanation. Some guardians don't wear uniforms or wings. Sometimes they come on quiet paws, with golden eyes and ancient grace. If this story moved you, even just a little, please consider subscribing to FurEvertied. Like the video, share it with someone who needs a little light today, and stay with us for the next story. Because sometimes the wildest places bring us home.